Welcome back to the Tool Crib. Today we're going to be looking at a new product from Lenox. This is the Lenox LX250. Now, recently I reviewed this utility knife. This is the Milwaukee 4822-1505. And what makes this particular utility knife unique is the fact that it has a built-in screwdriver, which is a very good design, especially advantageous for construction workers because it gives you the two most commonly used tools that you'll find on a job site, that being a utility knife and a screwdriver integrated into one tool. And so it's a very effective tool for those in the trades. Now, you see this a lot with tool manufacturers. You'll see tool manufacturers who will come out with a certain product and then it'll get copied right away. One example of that is the Knipex pliers wrenches. These are probably one of the best tools that has been invented in the last 50 years. I mean, this thing, as far as hand tools go, this is an awesome wrench that allows for the use of parallel jaws, which will allow you to get onto various sizes of hex nuts, and it goes, the range on this is just amazing, and they have all different sizes and models of this. So this is a tool in particular that you saw a lot of manufacturers copy. And so basically we have the same thing with this Lenox. They've taken a good idea that Milwaukee integrated and they've created their own version of that. Now, for us as the end consumer, that's especially useful. So let's get into this Lenox LX250 and see where it might have some advantages or maybe disadvantages over its Milwaukee counterpart. So a few things I like about this utility knife already. First of all, it's going to have an all-metal construction. Then it's going to have the ability to throw on or add a couple of extra blades. So it comes standard with 3 Lenox Gold blades. One that you store in the knife itself, and the other 2 have a storage compartment that's very easy to access. Another thing I like about this is that the driver housing for the bit is pretty robust. It's going to come with a number 2 Phillips, and also in the storage compartment you'll have a number 2 Robinson, which are going to be the 2 screwdriver bits that are most likely encountered by electricians. And Lenox really provides for the electrical industry, and so it's not a surprise that those are the 2 bits that they elected to put in here. Magnetic retention on the bits as well. What I don't like about this so far is that it does not lock out the screwdriver, but it has a fairly decent, fairly robust slip joint mechanism. So let me close this up. And now this doesn't have a push button trigger to open it, so you just open it up regular, and then it is liner locked, so the knife is very secure. It also is going to come in with a wire stripping notch, so you set that in there, just run it around, and right away you have a very clean stripped wire. So it works really, really well. It's far enough back of the blade here that you're setting your pressure with your thumb right there. It's really not something where you really got to worry about slipping off and slicing your thumb. It's well done. Now, one thing to note on this, for blade exchange, you cannot exchange the blade in the fully open position. It just won't allow you to do it. So you have to lock this out, and you pull it over here into this 45-degree orientation, and then you can release the mechanism to switch out your blade. If you try to do it with it opened up, it's just not going to happen. And then, well, I don't know why that won't go back in. Maybe I'm just not hitting that button. Oh, I just didn't have the blade straightened out. Okay, so the ability to liner lock is very nice. The fact that, if you got to read the package. I didn't read that at first, and so I was trying to put that blade in. It just wouldn't go in. So I finally had to go read the instructions, which I should have done in the first place, but that's beside the point. Again, with this particular knife, you have to fold it out to 45 in order to switch out your blade. Now, when it comes to the screwdriver has a soft lock. It's just outside of 90, so it's like 105 degrees or something like that, which actually kind of aids you, get your fingers up out of the way a little bit. It might be better if they tried that and went a little bit further on that soft lock, got it out there maybe 130 degrees, 135 degrees. That might even be better. But it locks in softly there. Now, the retention on it is pretty good. but it's not the greatest. It doesn't lock into place. And the same thing is true in the fully open position. While it has decent holdback on that slip joint, it is definitely not locked. But I do like the housing, the fact that this is a bit more robust. You can just see all the metal that they put in there. This is a much better housing, and then it goes fully across. So one of the problems that I've heard with the Milwaukee version of this tool is the fact that their screwdriver housing is not the strongest in the world. So this is kind of an advantage over that one. Now, there is a storage compartment. To access the storage compartment, it has a little lock here. So you slide this back and then you pull up. And it has blade storage on this side for 2 extra blades, and then it has your extra bit here, which is the number 2 Robertson. Now, to access the blades, you're going to have to open up the screwdriver as well, and that will allow you to slide those blades out, pick one, and replace it into your unit. It also has a little bit of a retention down there. There's a little catch that holds those blades, keeps them from just rattling in there. So they're actually in there pretty solid, which is very nice as well. Then you lock it down, and that with that slide mechanism keeps that compartment locked in place. Lock your screwdriver down. And then it comes with a pretty decent clip on it. It's not a complete full deep carry, but it does carry fairly decently. This is going to have a bit more heft to it than what the Milwaukee version is. But I actually like this one better. And then it has a very wide thumb rest up here. So if you're using it, whether finger rest or thumb rest, however you're cutting with it, it's very comfortable to use. I like the all metal construction because it's just a more rugged tool, in total. Now, the price is going to be reflective of that as well. It's going to be a little bit more expensive than the Milwaukee counterpart. But I actually think I might like this one a little bit better, even though Milwaukee's has that push button system to open it up, and it's kind of free opening. A lot of people might like that. That doesn't bother me, especially with the utility knife. I actually prefer this one a little bit more, I believe, because of the overall ruggedness of this particular unit. So again, this is the Lenox LX250, I believe is what it was. Yes. It's actually a pretty good tool. Now, this is their take on a combination utility knife screwdriver. I do like the fact also that it has a little bit more blade storage than what you get on that Milwaukee. And if you ever lose a bit, they're very easy to replace with just standardized regular 1/4 inch hex bits. So you don't have to have a special bit, unlike the Milwaukee's, which comes with a double-sided bit. So in the event that you were to lose a bit, you can very easily replace them. So this is the Lenox LX250. I'll leave links down below if you're interested in this tool. I like this take that Lenox is taking on this particular style of utility knife. My name is Ben. You've been watching the Texas Tool Crib. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in the next one.